Mixing components in the correct ratio can be tricky. Often there's a lot of guesswork when measuring out the proper amount of paint, hardener, and thinner, as well as components for other mixtures. However, KBS Paint Mixing Cups take out the guesswork and allow you to mix with confidence. With KBS Paint Mixing Cups, you can precisely measure out the amount of each component needed to reach the desired mix ratio. KBS Paint Mixing Cups allow you to determine the correct amounts of components for mix ratios of 1:1 up to 7:1. Here we'll show how the mixing cup is used to mix paint, hardener, and thinner. Colored water is being used for demonstration purposes. First, locate the desired mix ratio chart on the cup. For this demonstration, we'll be working with a 2:1 mix ratio, which corresponds to this 2:1 chart. Next, determine the total amount of mixed paint and hardener that you want to end up with. For this, we'll reference the millimeters column on the chart. Say we wanted this much finished product. In this case, it would correspond to 750 milliliters. Say we wanted this much. That would be 600 milliliters. Next, see what number the 750 milliliter marking corresponds to in the hardener column. In this case, it would line up with the number 5. If it had been 600 milliliters, it would line up with 4. Say it had been 700 milliliters, it would still have fallen within the number 4 range. You'll use these reference numbers to measure out the correct amount of each component in the mix. Begin mixing by placing the cup on a level surface. Now, reference the paint column on the chart. We determined that 5 is the number we'll be working with. So fill the cup with paint up to the 5 marking. If we are working with number 4, we would fill it to the 4 marking, and so on. Next, reference the hardener column. Add hardener until it reaches the 5 in that column. If we were working with the number 4, we would fill it to the 4 mark, and so on. If needed, thinner can be added. In the thinner column, you'll see markings that indicate how much paint and hardener can be thinned. Options are 10, 20, and 30%. Say you wanted to thin the mix by 10%. Simply add thinner until it reaches the top of the 10% mark. If you want to thin by 20%, add thinner to the top of the 20% marking, and so on. Keep in mind, adding thinner will add a little volume to the total amount of mixed paint and hardener that you originally wanted to end up with. Here is how to mix a single part paint or coating like KBS Rust Seal or a pre-mixed 2-part product with thinner. For this type of mixing, we'll use the 1:1 chart and use the hardener and thinner columns. Determine how much paint you want to work with using the hardener column. The process is made easiest by choosing an amount that lines up with the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 markings. We'll choose 3. Pour the paint to the 3 mark. Then, using the thinner column, simply add thinner up to the top of the 10, 20, or 30% mark as desired. The mixing cup can also be used for a 2-part mix, like KBS Klean and water. First, choose your desired mix ratio. In this case, we'll go with the KBS Klean to water ratio of 5:1, so we'll use the 5:1 chart. Using the paint column, fill the base solution to the desired mark. We'll go with 4. Next, using the hardener column, fill the second component to the number determined in the paint column, in this case 4. KBS Paint Mixing Cups take out the guesswork of mixing components in the correct ratio and allow you to mix with confidence. KBS Coatings are proudly made in the USA.